So welcome to the intro webinar for our spring session for F equals MA. I'm glad you guys could join us. So any questions along the way, feel free to drop them in the chat. So just some introductions. My name is Colin. I go to Harvard. I'm class of 27. So right now I'm on spring break, which is why I'm at home. So my physics background is that I was 5th place and gold medalist at the International Physics Olympiad 2023, and I was a silver medalist in 2022. And both times I went with the United States physics team. Um, my teaching experience includes math counts, pre-algebra, mechanics, the F equals MA winter camp, which was something you might have heard of last year, and as well as teaching Cambridge Physics Academy for almost a year now. So my hobbies and interests are basketball, piano, eating new food, and traveling. This is a little bit about Evan. Evan is not here today, but I'll introduce him on his behalf. Um, so Evan goes to MIT. He is class of 2027. He went with me to the International Physics Olympiad in 2023. He was 13th place. He also went to the International Olympiad in Astrophysics 2 years in a row. And he got runner-up both times and a gold medal. He qualified for the physics camp 3 years in a row. He was an STS finalist and an Atlas fellow. So some of his teaching experiences, he has a large YouTube channel in which he makes educational physics videos. He taught for Everest Academy and also F equals MA Winter Camp. And he has some of the same interests that I do. Okay, so that's just a little bit about ourselves. Now we're going to jump right into kind of what our course is about. So what is Cambridge Physics Academy about? We're always focusing on learning through problem solving and repeated practice with difficult concepts. So this is kind of our goal and our way of instruction. And we currently run 3 courses, the AP Physics 1 series, F equals MA course series, and the USFO course series. We offer 2 sessions of the F equals MA course series. We might offer a fall session of AP Physics 1. We're not really sure yet. But right now we're running these 3 courses in tangent with each other. So a little bit about each, the AP Physics 1 course, kind of the goal is to help you get a 5 on the AP Physics 1 exam. The goal of the F equals MA course is to help you qualify for the US Physics Olympiad exam. And then the US Physics Olympiad course series is all about preparing you to get a gold medal, potentially even camp. So this is kind of the progression that we imagine our students to take from AP Physics 1, F equals MA to USFO. This is kind of a lineup of all our courses. Today we're going to focus on the F equals MA course series. So I kind of touched on this before, but why Cambridge Physics Academy? Well, we offer this pathway between course offerings that goes from AP Physics to F equals MA to USFO. And this pipeline really keeps you on track, and we try to build on the ideas that we cover in each course when the student moves on to the course following. We provide lessons on test taking strategy. We operate with small class sizes, especially for our spring. It seems like we will be operating with a small class size for the spring. And you'll have access to a Discord channel where you'll be able to ask us questions. And this can be questions about problem sets, but also questions about test taking, strategies for, I don't know, taking advantage of your time during the exam, etc. And you can learn from us, which is me and Evan. We go to some of the top universities, and we have kind of an idea of the progression from high school to university and also what you're going to do in university and beyond. So we also have very extensive teaching experience. So you can guarantee you're getting a well-discussed overview and thorough run-through of all the topics. So here's just kind of a recap of what happened with F equals MA in the fall. So we ran a first iteration of our course in the fall last year, and it's finished. We had 40 students in that section, and there was live Q&A during weekly lectures. We did 16 lectures, and we had over 200 original homework problems. So these are problems that me and Evan come up with from our experience with the exams, and these are problems you cannot get anywhere else. We have over 200 problems and full solutions to all of them. And you can see that we have kind of a sample screenshot from one of our lectures. That was our first lecture. We have a sample problem set, and then the sample student homework submission. And we grade homeworks mostly for accountability so that your student stays on track
Mm.
um, with the homework. So you can see this is a sample student submission. So the students were obviously working very hard and very motivated. And from last time, we increased the USAFO qualification rate from 9% to 45%. So before our students took our course, only one of them qualified for the USAFO. No, only 9% of them qualified for the USAFO after taking it. And out of those people that took it in 2023, 45% of them were able to qualify in 2024. So that is a big jump, and we're very proud of our students for being able to do that. So kind of a breakdown of what the F equals MA exam is. You probably know what it is. It's the qualification exam for the US physics team. And then from then on to the International Physics Olympiad. So the exam breakdown is roughly as follows. So there are 25 multiple choice questions in total, and they're split among 8 sort of sections: kinematics, dynamics, energy momentum, gravitation, rotation, oscillation, fluids, and air analysis. This is the rough breakdown, and we try to distribute our course so that we're focusing on the topics that are most covered more in depth. So essentially, for example, we're going to cover kinematics for 2 weeks, dynamics for 2 weeks, but then we're only going to cover gravitation and fluids for 1 week each. So we're really focusing on kind of maximizing your chances at success on the exam. So when you join our course, here's what to expect each week. At the start of before each lecture, a week before, we release the pre-lecture readings. Some of them will be from Giancoli Physics, 6th edition. Some of them will be from Holiday Resnick Crane. So these are the 2 books we're going to be using mainly, and sometimes from Morin's Classical Mechanics. So they're like the 3 rough books that we're going to be using. Students are expected to read the material before the lecture so that when we do have the lecture, students are aware of what's going on, and then they'll absorb the information better. But during the lecture, we are going to cover all the content you need, so you don't necessarily have to read the lecture readings before, but we do highly, highly recommend it because some of the topics are really difficult, and it's always good to go over it before your lecture. And then each week we have 1 hour of lecture. Evan and I alternate teaching. We go over all the relevant content, and then we go over some practice problems. After lecture, we release the homework set, which includes around 20 problems. Half of them are handpicked from sources that we have, and also half of them are completely original homework problems. So you won't get these problems from any other source. During the week when the students are solving the problem set, they will have access to the Cambridge Physics Academy Discord, and they can ask questions to us. At the end of each week, we release the solution manual, and the solutions are in depth. They contain all the answers and also a thorough kind of walkthrough for each problem. So students are expected to check their answers and fix any mistakes that they've made. At the end of the course, we have a mock F equals MA exam. This exam is made purely from original problems. So it's a full mock F equals MA written from scratch from us. So this is kind of what you'll expect from each week and throughout the course. This is the content that will be provided to you. We have the readings, the lecture, the problem sets, the on-demand help, the solution manual, and then the mock exam at the end. So all of this will be provided when you're going through the course. So here's a course summary. The lecture time will be 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sundays. So if you can't make this time, we're always going to be posting recordings of the lectures. So the topics covered are on the left. I've already gone over this on the previous slide, but here are them again. The prerequisites that we have for the course. We do recommend a background in introductory mechanics, which means you've gone through either AP Physics 1 before or something similar, or if you self-studied a little bit of mechanics before. It's not required because we do cover everything from the ground up, but we do recommend it because some of the topics are a little difficult and hard to grasp on the first go. In terms of math, we require Algebra 1 and trigonometry, and your students should have a very solid foundation of these because we're not going to go over these topics at all. So we're going to jump right in, assuming that students know the necessary information. If you don't know trigonometry yet, the amount you need to know is pretty light. So if you need to brush up on trig, I would go through Khan Academy and do it. So nothing too sick, nothing too serious there, but you should know how to do it. So in general, after the course is finished, students will be able to have problem-solving skills in physics. They'll know the theory and the problem-solving skills necessary for the F equals MA exam. Most importantly, they'll have intuition to solve problems. And they'll have insight from us, me and Evan, from college level instructors at Harvard and MIT. And keep note that throughout the course, this is not just preparation for the F equals MA. This is also preparation for the mechanics portion of the US Physics Olympiad. Our USFO course doesn't cover mechanics, and we'll basically be covering the mechanics you need in this course. So there's going to be a gradient of problems. We'll have a concept checks, which are more introductory and help the students get warmed up to the problems. We also have exercises, which are the core of the problem set. These will prepare you for the F equals MA exam. And then we have challenge problems that are often pulled from the USFO that will prepare students for the mechanics portion of that exam. So what you're getting through this course is a full list of kind of problems of all difficulty levels, and you'll be able to work through from kind of the warm-up to the most difficult level. So here's a specific breakdown of our schedule for this spring. We're going to start next Sunday on March 24th. We're going to be doing problem solving, which is estimation and dimensional analysis. We'll jump right into kinematics, forces, energy, momentum, rotation, complex systems, statics, gravitation, fluids, fictitious forces, oscillations. And at the very end, we have a review and practice F equals MA exam, which will be released in July. So this course is kind of bleeding through into the summer, and every lecture is held on Sunday from 2 to 3. So here's the registration information. So the class runs at $49 per class, which includes everything I talked about before. Under this kind of umbrella, you have the weekly lecture, the Q&A time, you have your problem set solutions, your mock F equals MA exam, and you have Google Classroom and direct messages on Discord to be able to contact us. Sorry, this is a little bit of a typo. So this is for the F equals MA course series. Sundays from 2 to 3. It runs for 16 weeks total. Registration closes this Sunday on the 17th, and we're offering full refunds for cancellations up until 12 a.m. on March 27th. So you can register freely and get a gauge for how prepared or how interested you are in this class for the first lecture. And then you have 3 days to decide whether or not you want to continue with the class. So we also have a referral program. If you were referred by a friend that took one of our courses before, you get a $20 discount and they get a $20 gift card. So this is all information you can fill out on the form. And then the registration form is on the right. I have tiny URL links that I can type in the chat real quick. And also QR codes you can scan. So I'll put the links in the chat. Tiny URL. Moss Spring 24. And as well as that's the webinar. Sorry, I think the other link is the webinar link, which you're in right now. So the syllabus is linked also on the registration form. So if you go into the registration form, you can also see our detailed syllabus on there. So if there are any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat, and I'll take my time to answer all the questions. If you have no questions, feel free to fill out the form, and hopefully we'll see you in our first class on March 24th. But that's the end of the official webinar. You can stay behind if you have any questions. But thank you everyone for coming today, and we'll see you hopefully in class next week. But if you have any questions, feel free to stay back, put them in the chat, and I'll answer them.